PILF is really simply about my commitment to public service wherever I end up.
PILF to me is a multifaceted support network for students who aspire to go into public interest. And as a law school that has a strong commitment to public interest, I think that UC Irvine's PILF program is particularly exciting at this moment in time.
When I was president of the Association of American Law Schools, we were in the midst of a dramatic election, and it was clear at the time that many of the key figures were lawyers. The president himself, our now vice president, our secretary of state, and yet they really did not emphasize their background as lawyers in the election or after they took office. Very often they seemed to be political figures who happened to be lawyers. So I was struck by the extent to which the very idea of the citizen lawyer had disappeared from public discourse, so much so that people who were lawyers and doing important civic work did not emphasize the connection between that legal training and their current leadership roles. So I think it's very important that the University of California Irvine Law School rededicate itself as a public institution to the mission of creating citizen lawyers. And the Public Interest Law Foundation is a critical component of that effort because it typifies the kinds of public-private partnerships that we need to have if the law school is to remain committed to the core value of doing public service. I hasten to add that there are many ways to do service, through pro bono in law firm practice, through serving as a government lawyer, as well as doing public interest jobs. But the opportunity to do public interest in law schools will give each of our law students who do this kind of program a unique experience and insight into the challenges that they will face if they dedicate themselves to becoming citizen lawyers after graduation.
I think PILF is a great way to get people engaged in issues they care about, and in a way that makes it really feasible for them to spend as much time as possible getting engaged with these issues, so that later on, once they become lawyers, when they can practice a particular type of law as a career, they have that foundation and that passion already there.
So PILF and the Orange County community that's supporting PILF are the ones that are really letting me go out and do these things that are the reason why I got into law in the first place. I'm looking forward this summer to working on children's advocacy. Basically, I mean, it comes down to the fact that I could not do this without PILF because I couldn't afford to not have an income if it weren't for PILF.
This summer I'm working for the ACLU Voting Rights Project. I think what's really important about PILF and the door it opens is that all of us come to law school with these dreams of changing the world in our own little way. Our first summer is, I think, our first really big experience doing that. So what PILF does is PILF allows us to sustain ourselves and not have to beg on the streets when we're doing this. And I think it's important too because we also learn about access to legal services in classes like legal profession. And sort of these systemic problems that the legal community is facing. And I think that PILF in its own little but meaningful way chips back and helps us address those problems.
PILF is important to UCI School of Law because we're trying to establish ourselves in the legal community and in Orange County as a force for the public good. Funding through PILF supports students who are trying to accomplish that end through their legal work throughout the year and through the summer.
34 students working in 6 states and 1 foreign country, plus the District of Columbia, will be engaged in public service. These students will help the underrepresented population in areas such as housing, immigration, consumer benefits, healthcare. They will provide a vital service to legal services organizations and government offices who otherwise would not have the staffing and help necessary. Through your funding, our students will be able to engage in the kind of advocacy that brought them to law school in the first place. They will be able to help people who otherwise would not have legal representation. The very foundation of what the legal profession is about helping those who are in need. Our students will never forget the summers that they have assisting people with those basic human needs. And we hope and know that this summer will be a foundation for them doing public service for the rest of their legal career. Thank you.